broker training would be leading, but he is out. He's speaking at conferences, changing the world by helping people defer capital gains taxes and things like that. So I'm filling in for him, and I'm excited. And so what we're talking about today is interest generators. All right, interest generators. So why do you need an interest generator? First off, in the world of commercial real estate, it's all about developing relationships with people. So how to get those relationships is typically the first step is usually a cold call. You're calling multifamily owners or commercial real estate owners of office space or other things, whatever your niche is, mobile home parks, whatever you're specializing in, you're giving them a call and you're talking to them. That's how you start your career. That's how you start and expand generally your sphere, is by just reaching out to people, introducing yourselves, and developing a conversation with them. Okay, so generally the purpose of the cold call is to get a meeting. You want to get a meeting. You want to figure out a way to get them to agree to meet with you in person. Now, sometimes you're maybe 3 or 4 hours away. Even if it is a long drive, I think it's still important. Brett and I have driven down together, from Northern California down to the Bay Area, 3-4 hour drives just to meet with people about selling multifamily. And so getting in person is super important. If you can't get in person, then you could also do a Zoom is the next best thing. But you want to meet in person or get a Zoom, and that's basically the purpose of the cold call. So in order to do that, so how do you get them to meet with you in person? That is a very important thing. And we got some Marguerite coming in here. So that's something that we're really trying to do. Hey, let's see here. Marguerite just got in. So anyway, so that's what we're trying to do. So how to do that is basically by developing an interest generator, something that piques their interest, something that piques their attention, says, wow, that's interesting. Tell me more about that. And that's what you want them to get to so that you can set the meeting. Okay. So an example of this, something that I'm doing, and I could share my screen here real quick. Hey, Marguerite, how you doing? You there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how's it going? This is Brett here. I'm filling in for Brett today for the training. So it's good to have you here. So today what we're talking about is basically basically how to expand your sphere for commercial real estate sales. Okay. And so what we're talking about is a lot of times the first step is a cold call, So, Marguerite, what do you specialize in selling? Do you have a specialty? Do you do multifamily or mobile home parks, or are you just trying to dip your toe in the water here?
Dipping my toe in the water. I've been working on some land development deals.
Okay, great.
So, which is, as the market tightens up and the banking tightens up, those are drying up. So we need to figure other things out.
Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, totally. So you're generally commercial real estate, you have a specialty. It's a multifamily, it's a mobile home parks, is it land development, is it office space, is it commercial retail? So generally how you expand your sphere is just a lot of cold calling, a lot of calling up owners, getting their information. And basically the purpose of that initial cold call is to get them to meet with you in person. You want to build a relationship. You want to get the meeting and get off the phone basically as soon as possible. So basically what we're talking about today is what do you say and how do you get that first meeting, And so one of the things that you need to have is basically an interest generator. Are you familiar with interest generators?
I think so, but go ahead and
it's just basically something that could typically affect their business, their property. They don't know about it. You're the expert. It could be a recent sale. It could be a strategy that you implemented for another land development that could help them out. I'd love to meet with you and talk more about it, something like that. And so, so in my area, I live in Chico, California, and we're a college town. And so student housing is huge. We have 15 to 20,000 students who come here every year, and they have to rent apartments, houses, all this other stuff. And so what I've been doing, and I can just, this is kind of my interest generator that has been working really well. Let me just share my screen here real quick, if I can. 1 second. Okay. And so basically, let me see if this works. Let's see. Can you see my screen here? Let's see. Okay, that is, okay. Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. 1 second here. I got to get just this. Okay, cool. Okay. I just wanted to share that part. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is like, so basically when I call people, I just say, hey, look it, there's some major changes and shifting happening in the student market that is going to affect your property. Do you have 15, 20 minutes that we could get together and I can go through a presentation with you as an interest generator, and I just, sometimes I'll just mention, like, for instance, Chico State University has seen an 8% drop, in enrollment. How is that going to affect less demand? So I just go through, and basically what I do, I just clip out some newspaper clippings and, some different things that are interesting, population of college students who are going into college, where that's going. And I basically, all this is an interest generator. And when I get them on a phone, I say, hey, this is Brent. I'm a multifamily broker specialist. I specialize in student properties, or I specialize in land development. I specialize in office space. And there are some very interesting things that are the beautiful thing about the market. It's always changing. There's always factors that are affecting it. There's always kind of leading indicators and lagging indicators that you could develop an interest generator around. And basically all you have to do is just start Google searching. One thing for multifamily that's happening is, there's a lot of variable rate mortgages, or loans on commercial real estate. They get a 3-year, 3.5% interest rate, and then it goes 2% plus prime, which could be 7%. And we've talked to, multifamily owners are like, hey, my payment's going to go from $30,000 a month to $60,000 a month, for a loan. Now that obviously changes a lot of things. And there's a ton of people in that boat. So you can call multifamily people, and that's an interest generator. Hey, there's a ticking time bomb in the debt market for multifamily. I've created a whole entire presentation. It takes me 15, 20 minutes to go through it. I think you should really learn about it so you can be prepared for what's coming, potentially. And it's just, you just stick to the facts. You stick to the facts, the figures, all that other stuff. And, you could speculate, but you could be wrong. But when you just stick to the facts and the figures, here's what's happening. They see that as valuable. And so basically, I'm just curious, Marguerite, how long have you been doing commercial real estate, land development, that kind of a thing?
Just this past year.
Okay. Yeah.
So been working with a fund manager and trying to develop some stuff out here in Colorado.
Cool. Yeah. Colorado. What part of Colorado are you at?
I'm up near Breckenridge.
Okay, cool. I almost at one point in time moved to Colorado Springs, years and years ago. It seemed like a cool area, but
it is, and yeah, that's another area that I'm looking at because I have some people that are interested in that area. There's 4 Air Force, military bases,
yes, huge
college, all sorts of stuff there.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, so basically, we're just trying to help people develop their sphere, get more appointments. Basically, the more cold calls you make and the more you can turn those into appointments, and the more basically listings you're going to get. It's just a numbers game. And so to raise your rate of cold call to appointment, interest generator is a really important thing. And it's something that anyone could create. There's things in land development. What do you see happening in land development? I mean, what are some factors that are affecting people, or strategies? I mean, is there a presentation you can make on that, or how would you see that? How would you see what could you see as an interest generator in your field, in your area of expertise?
So where we're in the resort areas, and then particularly there's a couple towns out not too far from here where gambling is allowed, and those towns are each busing in 3,500 employees every day because there's nowhere to live in the towns.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Easy. Holy smokes. Easy. Yeah. So then you go and find these stats, call the bus people. Hey, can I get your bus routes? Can you see how busy it is? Whatever those things, do your own investigative journalism, essentially, and come up with a narrative and a story. And then you call whatever, guys are in development, you give them a call. Hey, there's an opportunity that I think is a great opportunity potentially. Do you have some time where we can get together? And primarily what you want to do is get together face to face in person. Can I take you out to lunch? I have a presentation, and I never do reports that are emailable. Oh yeah, go email it. No, it's a presentation. I have a slide deck presentation. That way you're going through it with them. If they live, say, in Florida and you're in Colorado and they're a big developer, okay, it may be worth it to fly out there, just for the in-person meeting, but it may be more practical to do a Zoom. Far second is Zoom. If you can get them in person, that's the absolute what you want to, that's the goal. If you get them on Zoom, then that's also good. So basically, interest generated leads, and we don't have time to go through the whole entire process of like closing a deal and stuff. But when you get to that meeting, a big part of what you want to do is not just the presentation is just like bait. The big thing you want to do is build rapport. Is talk to them about their life, talk to them about their family, ask them questions about what their goals are, how they get into real estate, what are you trying to do. They if they're a developer, or in my industry, multifamily person or commercial, that's a common ground that you can talk about, and you understand that space. And so just asking questions, what's your goals? Where do you see yourself? Well, what's the next step for you? Those kinds of things. What are the pain points, and just asking them questions and getting them to talk. You want to talk 20% of the time, mainly asking questions and getting to know them, and have them talk 80% of the time. I mean, if you're having a good meeting, that's really, and you're taking notes. Right. And then you can transition to your slides and everything. But really, that's just, the main thing is to build that rapport. Then you hit them with the slides, blah, 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 go through it, and then ask them questions. How does that hit you? Do you agree with this? Do you see this opportunity? What do you think? Oh, that's interesting, blah, 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 whatever it is. And then basically you're trying to gauge, does it make sense to submit some kind of proposal to them? Maybe it's make an offer. Maybe this is what the property's worth. This is, with land development, I mean, with us, obviously it's like, your multifamily, I can do an analysis, I could do a proposal of what we would do to sell it or whatever, or how much fees it would be. With land development, it might be your process might be a little different, but basically it's seeing if there's a need, seeing if there's a desire, seeing if there's a problem that you can solve, seeing if you could do something that aligns with their goals, and then asking them, hey, it's going to take me a week or so or whatever, but I'd like to develop something for you, a presentation of some sort, a proposal of some sort. Can we meet again, or would you be open to that, basically? And then a good line to do. Now, land development's a little different, and we're going really fast and I'm covering a lot of things. But a good line to make, a good closing line, hey, if we can agree on price and terms, is there any reason to your satisfaction? Any reason if there's, let me start from the beginning, because you got to get it right. If we can agree on price and terms to your satisfaction, if I could, help you get your goal of this, that, or whatever the goal is there any reason why you wouldn't exclusively use me, to represent you in the sale of this property, or to list the property, or to buy the property? And you want to get a commitment before you take the time, energy, and effort. You want to get it's a conditional close. Okay, yeah, if you could show me how it can bring in, $150,000 a month, fully developed, if you could show me how to get the lending to make sense, if you could show me the demand, if you could show me this thing, then yes, I will use you. Yeah, of course, I'll use you to represent me. Because they may say, you know what, I already have an agent. Oh, you already have an agent. Then that changes the whole game. oh, who's your agent? Okay. Are they bringing you deals? Are they doing this? Okay, well, so you get them to commit to using you exclusively as a real estate agent before you do any work, real work. So you have your kind of canned presentation that's opportunities. You're calling 50 developers. Hey, you're interested in hearing this opportunity, interest generator. Can we meet, Tuesday or Wednesday at 2:00 p.m., whatever it is. And then you get that, you're building rapport, you get that meeting, that Zoom or that in-person, you're building rapport, you show the presentation, and then you close them with this. If we can agree on price and terms to your satisfaction, if we can show you how to expand your portfolio, do whatever it is that they want to do, that you kind of listen to them, then is there any reason why you wouldn't use me to exclusively represent you in the purchase or the sale of this property? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if they say yes, you're like, okay, great. Yeah, great. Because, you've basically essentially, if you could do this, you've already closed them. They've already agreed to it.
Right.
You say, okay, it's going to take me about a week. I'm going to put this together just for you. And then you go to work and you do your proposal. And then you meet with them again. And then hopefully if they like it, you already have them committed to you. Does that make sense?
It does. I like that.
Do you see any way that you could apply this to your business right now and it be helpful to you?
Yeah. I need to find some more developers because there's just plenty of opportunity, and just getting them interested and kind of figuring out what some of the hangups are, why there hasn't been development in these towns before now, because there's got to be a reason.
Right. Yeah. So sometimes that's a lot of the work is just doing the investigation, doing the prospecting. It's just, who can I call and how can I pique their interest?
Yeah.
And, obviously, the more people, the more calls you make to developers and the more you can pitch your interest generator and the more appointments you get, basically the higher the chance that you're going to have to develop that piece of land.
Cool.
So you're mainly looking for buyers for land, is that right?
No, I'm also looking for new land
Sellers.
opportunities because, some of the sellers are crazy.
Yeah, out there in Colorado, they're kind of cowboys or what?
They have great expectations of what their land is worth. And, I'm learning about the like development land appraisal, commercial appraisals versus like general residential or land appraisals, which is taking into account a lot of things that could be there or what it's zoned for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But right now it's all just dirt and trees, but that increases the value on what it could be zoned for.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Commercial real estate is so much more complicated. You have to be so much more of an expert to understand zoning, to understand politics, really is what that comes down to. Local government, who's who, where, how do we get it rezoned? All these different things. There's a whole lot more to it. But yeah, the more you become an expert, the more you speak the language and get the vocabulary down, understand it, and understand what the market is for these things, the more you're going to be successful,
Yeah.
So you're on your journey. So anyways, did you want to role play at all? Or, sometimes we do a little at the end, we do a little bit of role play just to help us kind of make our calls and that kind of a thing. Do you want to do any of that today?
I don't even know how I would start on. So I guess if I was calling a developer, if you're cold calling, I hate cold calling. But I have to do it.
How else do you meet these developers?
Some just networking, builders associations, some commercial networking online, like Zoom meetups for commercial real estate. So there I'm meeting more of fund managers and syndicators. So trying some of that. And that's easy because it's usually a small group and I don't have to carry the conversation or, think of the questions and But so if I was calling somebody, just, hi, my name is Margaret Morgan, with eXp Realty, and got a development possibility that I'm looking at in Summit County and some other areas around Colorado, and would love to chat with you about the possibility.
Yeah. And so I would be a land seller, or I would be like an investor.
Developer. Investor
Okay.
developer.
You're going after the buyers essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So, so just, this is great. I love this. Usually if you have their first name, starting with their first name. So, hi, Brent. Hi, Marguerite, just so it's not like a total sales, or you could just say Marguerite, Brent, almost like, just like, that sometimes that really works. So people are like, wait, what, who's this? They obviously know me. Who is this? Yeah. Oh, hi. Yeah. This is Brent. Yeah. And then going, okay, I'm for EXP. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. Thanks for calling. Yeah. So what's the opportunity?
So looking at some development property in, we'll start with Cripple Creek. They are a gaming town here in Colorado. I've spoken with some of the casino owners, and they're having to bus in on average about 3,500 employees a day to work in the casinos because there is not housing in the town. Also spoken with the town manager, and that they would, assist with developments coming into town. So we've looked at a couple properties and have a presentation on those. Would love to speak, get a chance to meet, maybe go to have lunch and speak, 15, 20 minutes about it.
Yeah. Good. Solid. Okay, cool. So yeah, totally. And I love how you went right to the meeting, because the last thing you want to do, there's this thing called the friend zone. Have you know about the friend zone? It's kind of like when you're dating somebody and you get in the friend zone. You're too nice, you're too friendly, and you just stay in this friend zone. So when you do that cold call, what they're going to want to do is get you to have the meeting on the initial cold call. Okay, so this is what always happens. Oh, Marguerite, yeah. Okay, tell me about this. Okay, the 3,500. Wow. Now, where is this located at? And and how many people is that? And where they come from? And they'll try to extract as much information from you on that initial phone call, if it's really kind of an interesting thing, to avoid having a meeting with you, to go and just do their own thing. All right.
Okay.
And so what you want to do is hold back. You want to make it interesting enough and say, hey, I worked super hard on a presentation about a unique opportunity. These casinos are busting in over 3,500 employees. When I look at these numbers, when I look at these facts and stats, I'm baffled why someone hasn't developed a couple pieces of property that we have currently in communication with. And then you just go straight to this. And I've developed a presentation. It's 15 to 20 minutes long. It goes over like all the stats and figures. And I'd love to present it to you because I think that it could potentially be a great opportunity. So you go straight to interest generator. I worked really hard. I put together a presentation. Do you have time? And if they're in town or whatever, I'd love to take you out to lunch. I'd love to take you out to coffee. Are you going to be in the area? Whatever it is, So, it's this fine balance between saying enough to pique their interest, but not giving them too much where they don't need to meet with you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. And that's probably something I've probably been doing wrong. Because I get so excited when I find something and I just want to tell everybody.
You want to tell everyone, you want to be everyone's best friend. They're gonna be like, thanks, Marguerite. Thank you so much. We're gonna go do something with that. All right, I'll see you later. There's no reason to meet, if you're having a half-hour conversation with someone on that first meeting, you're probably doing it wrong. Or longer, or an hour, or you go into all the little nitty-gritty details. No, it is an appointment that you set. You call them, you say their name, you introduce yourself, and you give them some interest generating things, 35, that's a great interest generator. There's a gaming casino, they're busting in 3,500. I've been down there. And I know in my soul, this is a amazing development opportunity, probably one of the best for Colorado. I think so highly of it that I've actually developed it's like a 10-slide presentation about all the factors that are culminating in what I feel like is a slam dunk development potentially, even in this market. And I'm curious if I could get together with you and show you my presentation. If you have 20, 30 minutes upcoming in the next week, it's pretty quick, but I'd love to just get to meet you and show you what I found, and then schedule the meeting and get off the phone as fast as you can.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Is that a good little kind of maybe a little tip, a little adjustment, a little tweak that could help you maybe get some more appointments?
Yes. Yeah. Because I've got a lot of things that I've found that I think doing like the presentation stuff helps me flesh out whether they're worthwhile presenting to people.
Yeah, totally. And do the hard work, get that interest generator. It took me like a full day to get, for mine, it's Chico State housing is going down and the supply is going up. But I drove around, I took pictures of the new apartments. I took all the graphs of I talked to the dean of admissions, and I got all their stats of how the enrollment is declining. I got all this population of America chart, I got all this stuff, and I just put it together to create a narrative. And then it's like a 10-slide, and I just tell them, look, and I send out mailers. Hey, I have a presentation, the state of student housing, that if you own student housing, you have to see it. I do podcasts. Hey, look, if you're interested in student housing, blah, 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 you got to get, and then I have these housing development experts on my podcast, and I send that out in emails to these certain people. It's just constant interest generator so that they call me. What is this presentation? And you hold back the good stuff, because in commercial real estate, no one's going to do a deal with you off one phone call. It's going to be a phone call, then it's going to be an in-person meeting, then it's going to be another follow-up meeting, then it's going to probably be 5 hours before they feel comfortable and they feel like, okay, you got the goods, you know what you're doing, I'm going to trust you with a $10 million deal. But that's not going to come from, they never met you in person. They don't even know who you are, what you look like. You don't know them. You don't know their goals. You don't know their family. You don't know what they're trying to do. It takes about 5 hours, of interactions. And so you gotta hold back some of that stuff to build the relationship. And all these guys are busy. So you got to have something worthwhile, something valuable, And keep coming to this, because this is just one little tip of a ton of content.
Yes. And this is some other realtors that I work with have been telling me like almost the same thing, but you're explaining it better.
All right, great, cool.
More concrete.
Yeah. Well, excellent. So takeaways are: build your interest generator, put together a product, a digital product that, it's a slide deck on Google Slides. I mean, it's free, you just clip out your little pictures and your little text, just put it together, make it make sense. And then just call people, get their contact information, call them, prospect, and see if you can set appointments. Your goal is to call to set an appointment. Not the call just to make friends, not to build relation, not build rapport. Call to set an appointment, then at the appointment, then build rapport and do a conditional close. If I can show you how it's going to work, if I can show you how it's going to meet your goals, if I can show you to your satisfaction, is there any reason why you wouldn't exclusively use me to represent you in the sale or purchase of this deal? And you be quiet and you listen to them. And that's a whole other topic. What they say after that is a whole topic for a whole nother day. But hopefully they'll just say yes. Perfect. Next Tuesday at 2:00 or next Wednesday at 1 p.m. What's better for you? 1 p.m. Great. I'll send you a calendar invite. Oh, bing, bada boom. Then you go and you do your presentation.
Wonderful. This is excellent.
Yeah. How'd you hear this group? I'm just curious.
Just one of the on the EXP commercial workspace.
Okay, so you're EXP?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, me too. It's awesome. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, that's our time for today.
Okay, and so you guys are open, this is open to EXP agents and
Everybody.
anybody else?
Anybody and everybody, you can invite them here, and we do a lot of role playing. We'll have anywhere from 3 to 10 people, and it's growing, but it's just it's a way, iron sharpens iron, and so it's just a way for us to share what we know, and then role play with other people and see how they're doing, and then it just helps us to, when we get on when it's like warming up, to make our own calls, hey, and set our own appointments. So it's commercial real estate tactical secrets.
All right, this is awesome. I'll see you next Monday.
All right, thanks so much.
Okay,
Have a good one.
bye.